coach you is that you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
I have no idea why that just did a double take, but what's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one. It is OTAs Day 2. A lot of news coming out of OTAs. A lot of stuff to talk about. A ton of stuff to talk about. I hope everyone is having an absolutely fantastic beginning to their week. Man, it's I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I said it today, like, I'm not putting a ton of stock in everything, but man, you got to be able to take notice of what's going on right now and just the positive things coming out of camp. I mean, we're gonna go over Mike McDaniel's presser and media availability and everything today. And we got a lot to go over, man. We got a lot to go over. There's just a lot of news that came out of today. I wasn't expecting it to be so jam-packed because, I mean, OTAs day one, but I guess because the media was allowed there today. So a lot of news coming out of today. And, you know, there's just, I mean, all I can say right now is check your pulse. And I know, a majority of you are already vibing right now because you're Heat fans. So you're already feeling that excitement. But I'm telling you, man, like, I said it when we hired McDaniel, and I'll keep saying it. This just feels different this year. It just feels different. You look at everything, and just how it's coming to fruition, how everything's coming to be. And especially when when you get that CBS report that will go over here that, players are, they can't believe the offensive transformation that this team is going through right now. It's kind of crazy too. And, I was in a space earlier today with all the homies, and, I mentioned how if you listen to Fin Too Deep, I believe he said it here last week too. Neil Driscoll's basically gone on record, and Neil Driscoll has basically said, he's got Tua kind of as a dark horse, MVP candidate type of thing going on right now. And what's crazy to me about him saying that is, his whole reasoning was basically, hey, it reminded him of the Lamar Jackson MVP season where no one saw it coming at all. And I mean, I get that. I mean, hey, I think the odds right now are like 75-1. That won't hurt for me to put down, maybe $50-$100 on the odds, but it's just with how everyone is downplaying the kid, how it's kind of really, let's be honest with ourselves, they're already selling this kid short and nothing's even happened yet. That's the crazy part of it. How are you going to sell this kid short and yet, again, nothing's happened? Like, he hasn't even strapped on pads. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just setting up for people to be taken by surprise, for people to underestimate him, and then boom, right in their face. You know what I mean? SJ says he put 50 on Tua for MVP. See, there you go. And you know what's crazy too is, guys, I got to say this. The things we'll go over them. The things that were said today, these are things that were not said early on in OTAs in the past 2 years. That's what's crazy to me too. You know what I mean? Is this is, there wasn't a degree of, I don't even want to use the word hype, but there wasn't a degree of positivity that there is right now surrounding specifically. I mean, Tua coming out. I mean, we'll go over it. I mean, you saw what Omar Kelly said today, right? And I know a lot of people they wanted to hear Omar Kelly's take. They wanted to see what and the thing I got to say too is, Why do all these positive videos keep coming out and all I'm hearing are crickets? You know, I've mentioned this a couple times on this platform now since the underthrow video, you know, and what's going on? Why am I hearing not a legitimate peep about everything good that's happening today? I mean, the play of the day was apparently a 35 air yard throw to Preston Williams that went 70 yards to the house. You know, we're seeing clips come out where Tua is now hitting people in stride deep and frequently, but no one's talking about that. I mean, hell, I'm going to show you guys a clip. I took a bunch of clips that were all over social media today, and I put them together for you guys. I got a clip of Tua and Bridgewater dropping back, and each is throwing an outbreaking route. Bridgewater to Hill and Tua to Waddle. And guess what? Bridgewater throws behind Hill. Why is no one talking about that? Ooh, why is no one talking about it? I just don't get it. Where is that same energy that I keep asking for? You know, if you're not going to keep that same energy with the underthrow, with everything right now, then you know what? When this thing takes off and we're out here making a playoff run, keep that underthrow energy. Don't start hopping on board the bandwagon when things start going well. Just like some of y'all, I already know y'all were dragging McDaniel's name through the mud before you even gave him a chance, comparing him to Gase and comparing him to all these other clowns like Cam Cameron and Joe Philbin. But now, because you see all the things falling in place and the vision coming to fruition, now all of a sudden you want to hop on. Not my world, ladies and gentlemen. And don't worry, I got the receipts. I know who said what. And some of y'all are lazy, wannabe content creators that were saying this crap. All right? So, you know, when this thing starts popping off, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Because the thing is, none of them will admit they were wrong. None of them will admit they'll try and go on like they never said what they said, or they'll try to justify what they said at the time. I already know the game. A lot of people out here are man enough to admit when they're wrong. That's just what it is. So, by the way, I can't wait. Like, is it September 11th yet? Real talk. Also, programming note, tomorrow night, I'm going to have a little bit of a roundtable. I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to be discussed that's been going on, and we're going to hash it out. What does that mean? That means myself, Mr. Ballgame, EM Dolphin fan, the homie Martin, Dougley Do Wrong, and TD Fins Talk. We're gonna have a discussion. There's stuff that needs to be talked about. All right, and there's things that need to be ironed out. So we're gonna have a discussion tomorrow on this panel. It was actually, shout out to the homie EM. It was actually EM's idea. EM was like, you know what, we got to bring everyone together here and have a little bit of discussion. The community needs it right now. I said, you know what, that's a good idea. Let's do it. So we're gonna be coming live for y'all tomorrow night around 9:00 for that. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one because we got some stuff to talk about. I'm kind of amped up a little bit about this whole Tua stuff and what's been going on. So we're gonna have to have a discussion out here, man. We are gonna have to have a discussion. All right. And I got some things I got to get off my mind and my chest tomorrow night. So we're going to do that. And I'm sure everyone does. So I know EM does. So we're going to do that tomorrow night. All right. Now, with everything said, let's start getting into everything. We're going to eventually get into Mike McDaniel's presser. But before we do, let's start getting into some of the stuff from today. So let's start off with the first thing that kind of like rock my world today, man. Well, not rock my world, but have me thinking. So this article came out from CBS. Dolphins defensive players have told GM Chris Greer that they can't believe the transformation on offense. I mean, how silly do these people feel now that they compared him to Adam Gase and all these guys? I mean, really, let's think about this. The Miami Dolphins are entering a new era in 2022, but it's also one that could bring immediate success. The front office made one of the offseason's most intriguing hires in head coach Mike McDaniel, and they completely revamped the offense, from the offensive line to running backs to wide receiver room. However, this Dolphins team doesn't move forward unless quarterback Tua Tagovailoa does. During a recent interview on Sirius XM NFL Radio, Dolphins general manager Chris Greer was asked what has stood out to him most about Tagovailoa as he prepares to enter his third NFL season. Greer spoke about how he's noticed more confidence and excitement from his quarterback. He also said his offense has bought into Coach McDaniel, and that the defense has noticed a difference in their counterparts during their short time together. Even the defensive guys, about a week ago, they were saying they cannot believe the transformation on offense and how these guys are doing. And if you guys want to hear the audio version of
offensively, that's where the bulk of the moves were made by the Dolphins this offseason, and no player stands to benefit more from them than your quarterback. What are some of the things standing out to you right now about Tua Tagovailoa as he prepares to enter his third NFL season?
Yeah, I think, the one thing is his confidence level. I think, he played well
you can
for
see
us,
it.
in the second half of the season. And I think with the additions we've done and the players we've added around him, has him really excited. And then as he spent time with Coach McDaniel here in the offseason to prepare and learning the offense, and Teddy Bridgewater has been a great influence as well, in the backup role. So the two of them, their relationship with Mike and Frank, and then learning the scheme and the offense, he is very excited, and I think the whole offensive side of the ball. I mean, it's been fun watching these guys, how they bought in, listened to Mike, and believe in watching them practice, and even the defensive guys about a week ago were saying they could not believe the transformation on offense and how these guys are doing. So,
that's awesome.
I think his high, Mike and the relationship and the belief in him. So he's very, very excited, and he's had a good offseason so far.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, now the defensive players are coming to our general manager, and they're saying, we can't believe it. Guys, this is a far cry from what we were hearing last year, where under Brian Flores, a certain defensive player was coming out and saying he felt like he was wasting his years here. Now we're sitting here, they're like, wow, we can't believe the transformation of this offense. See what happens when you add a little talent? You see what happens? People are, you're making excuses for Tua. Oh, you're making excuses for the O-line, and Tua needs an O-line. Oh, you're making excuses for him needing weapons. Are you sure about that? Because our defense is now coming to our general manager and saying, oh, wow, so this is what a real offense looks like. This is what it's like they've seen the light. They're like, we actually got to pull up our pants, tie up our laces, and show up at practice because, look, it's an offense. Haven't seen this in the last 3 years. It ain't the quarterback, deeper than the quarterback, and I've been telling y'all this since last year. The issues were so glaring that it was deeper than the quarterback. Anyone telling you different was lying to themselves, has a narrative or agenda to push, or flat out doesn't know football, and I wouldn't listen to them anyways. Period. Okay? Now, that's not calling Tua perfect, but to sit there and say it was all on Tua, let's be honest. I was telling y'all before we went into the season, Tua's success, our receiver success, everything hindered on the offensive line. Historically bad offensive line. Oh my God, the offense, the offense was stagnant at times. Shocking. I know. Even though I prepared people and I warned people, they still that's how you can start telling who knows the game, who truly understands the game, who knows the ins and outs of the game, when you got people who are giving you face value, easy answers that a casual could come to the conclusion of, compared to people who give you detailed, context-ridden answers as to why things are happening. See, it's one thing to say, oh, this happened. It's another thing to say, oh, this happened because of this. This is why that happened. All of this, that is a result of all of this. All right? Because nothing just happens in football. Nothing just happens. No pun intended, everything happens for a reason. My whole objective, my whole point is to give you guys the reason of why this happened, why that happened, why he threw an interception, why he caught a touchdown. That's the thing. If I can tell you why things happen, you will understand the game. Whether I just tell you, oh, this happened. That's, a touchdown happened. No, if I tell you why that touchdown happened and what led to that touchdown, you understand the game more than saying, oh, a touchdown happened. Right? Details, man. Details. You can tell who the lazy ones aren't and who the lazy ones are by details, man. In any industry. Not just football. That is a blanket statement on any industry. While trading for star wide receiver Tyreek Hill was an obvious headline, Miami also stole Cedric Wilson away from the Dallas Cowboys. Adding 2 new weapons is nice for Tagovailoa, but a better reason he's set up for success in 2022 are because of the upgrades of the offensive line. Greer went out and signed new left guard Connor Williams, previously with the Cowboys, and then one of the top players in this free agent class and former New Orleans Saint left tackle Terron Armstead. Side note, guys, I actually was told by someone, connected to the building that Connor Williams, I was told a couple things today. I was told Gesicki looks really fast and impressive today. Connor Williams was playing center as well. So, to cap it off, the Dolphins signed 3 new running backs in Chase Edmonds, Sony Michel, and Raheem Mostert, all of which have starting experience. Also, another thing, too, Jaquandre White apparently been tearing it up. With all of the new players and new scheme coach McDaniel will implement, the Dolphins will look very different in 2022. If Tagovailoa can take a step forward in his development, then this Miami squad will surprise people. And the steps forward, the steps forward are being taken, my friends. They're already happening as we speak. Smash that like button. Already 400 of you in the room. Subscribe if you're new. They're already happening as we speak. The steps are happening. We saw the footwork being worked on, and now we're going to get into stuff that happened today. And now you're going to see the work they put in. People out here about to overperform, and my boy Nick Kicks a goddamn apology. I'm about to bring him up here in the next little bit. I got something planned with him. I got a special show I'm planning with him, and I'm gonna have to bring him up for a show after that, just for some of these people to come up here and apologize to this man. Real talk. All right, so continuing on, a lot of people were really interested in what Omar Kelly was going to say today now that it was open to media, because, he was talking about, he couldn't wait to get his eyes on Tua's arm. And this is what Omar Kelly said. He said, I know what you folks are here for. Tua's arm has made some noticeable improvement. It's not drastic, but it's noticeable, especially in passes over the middle of the field. Biggest pass of the day came from Tua, who floated a pass to Preston Williams on a slant that he caught along the left sideline, and Williams caught over Nick Needham. It was a 75-yard touchdown with I've heard 30 to 35. It's been varying reports. But here's the thing. I got to focus here on the wording. I didn't need drastic improvement. What drastic improvement is like, what you're trying to get like Josh Allen bazooka here. I'm going to go on the same rant I went on in that space earlier right now, okay? Here's my thing. Drastic improvement I didn't need. What you're telling me right now, a noticeable improvement, and especially over the middle of the field, that's literally what I needed. Now I need him to consistently read all 3 levels and be better at his pre-snap determined reads. And you add in those and we're gravy, baby. All right? We are absolutely gravy. I don't need drastic. Drastic is we're trying to be Josh Allen bazooka. This is why. Listen, I've been telling y'all for time, and I'm going to tell y'all again. I don't need bazooka. I don't need cannon. I don't need 3 or 4 highlight throws a game. You know what I need? I need elite efficiency. elite accuracy, and elite football IQ. That's what I need at the position. All right? That's what's going to win. That's literally the recipe of Tom Brady. Tom Brady does not have a bazooka. Tom Brady does not have a cannon. But Tom Brady is efficient, is elite efficiency, elite football IQ, and elite accuracy. Because what you're going to need to do, especially in this offense, we're just going to need to eat on the short to intermediate level. And then when those 3, 4, 5 throws in a game present themselves, you make them. Whether it's over the top, down the sideline, broken coverage, whatever the case may be. When those momentum-shifting throws present themselves, you make them. All right? That's what Joe Burrow did on the last Super Bowl run. That's what Tom Brady did in the Super Bowl to beat Patrick Mahomes. That's even what Matt Stafford did better last year under McVay than he did against Detroit. Protect the football, be efficient with the football, let the defense do their thing, and make the throws when they present themselves. Very easy formula. It's not complicated. I don't need 60-yard bombs. I don't. That's not what wins. I'm going to tell you this right now. You give me a guy with elite efficiency, elite accuracy, and I don't even need an elite football IQ. Just a good football IQ. Don't even give me an elite football IQ. Give me that football. The elite efficiency alone, I will crush someone with a bazooka arm. I will crush them every single time. And that's what Tua's ceiling is. That's why the Breeze and the Russell Wilson the Breeze more so, with elite accuracy, elite efficiency, elite football mind. That's where that whole comp came from. But people need to realize when comps are made, that's a player's ceiling. You have to reach that ceiling with coaching, development, environment, personnel, and support around you. You just don't walk in and you're your player comp. That's not how it works. Player comps are ceilings that you need to be developed to get there. That's why that was coming in, because you saw the elite accuracy, you saw the elite, anticipation on all 3 levels, right? You saw efficiency on all 3 levels. He would just kill you short and intermediate. Then they would send one of those Bama guys over the top and murk you. That's literally that's what people were so salivating. His footwork was fantastic. He had all the little intangible stuff, plus the efficiency, because efficiency wins football games. Listen, there's a throw out there right now. They put it up on their space. The Jets posted it today. It's Zach Wilson, and he's throwing like a hitch route to Braxton Berrios. Okay. And so, with a hitch route, you turn your face in the quarterback. This guy, I'm not lying to you. Go find it. It's on their social media right now. They had to slow down the throw to make it look good. Bro, that throw, when you are going into your break, that ball needs to be out. So when you turn to the quarterback, boom, it's right there, and you can turn and you can make your move. But this thing was, as Braxton was turning, the ball was coming out of his hands, so the timing was off, and he went outside shoulder towards the freaking sideline. He turned his timing and accuracy turned into a freaking whip route. But we don't have to worry about things like that with Tua. Those are the little details. I saw that throw. I'm like, man, you make that throw against X or Byron, they are taking that to the house, man. They are taking that to the freaking house on you. So it's just like it goes back to when Darrell Bevell said Tua can make every throw. He wasn't talking about off-platform, cross the body 50 yards. He's talking about every throw in the route tree from the pocket. Tua can make every throw. So, listen, all I needed was torque and velocity. By the sounds of it, that's what I'm getting. All right? If it's noticeable, then it's been improved. And what's the big key thing that Gallu told Perform and all of them to work on was footwork. And now you've seen what the improved footwork is starting to translate into. noticeable improvement in his arm already. And I don't need drastic. Drastic is like we're getting to Josh Allen. So I don't know where we're going there. All right. But I'm going to tell you, this is very, very encouraging. Very encouraging. I mean, if you're not out here, I'm checking my pulse to see if I'm really alive and living this right now. This is unreal. I'm very, very impressed, and it's only going to get better with each year. So let's get into some of those observations from today. Let's start off with Barry Jackson, and then we get into David Furones. And this is what Barry Jackson said today. He said, Dolphins speed on display, highlights notes from first open practice under Mike McDaniel. 10 notes from the first of 5 Dolphins offseason practices open to reporters in May and June before training camp opens in late July. The speed we've all been hearing about, it's both real and spectacular. Oh, my God. Did this man just take Seinfeld? They're real and they're spectacular. Oh, man. Barry. Shout out to Barry. Oh, man. Barry just came out with the Seinfeld. I love it. Tyreek Hill converted 3 short to intermediate throws, 1 from Tua and 2 from Teddy Bridgewater, into substantial gains in 11-on-11 work. Jalen Waddle streaked free down in the middle of the field for a handful of catches, and the Dolphins were practicing without 2 of their speedy new running backs. Chase Edmonds, rest day, and Raheem Moser continues working back from his week 1 injury last year. Linebacker Jerome Baker has seen enough to know this. They're fast, the offense in general, fast, explosive. It's going to be exciting for us. It gives us defenses more problems. When you give defenses more problems, it's hard to really stop everything. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, going into a little bit more detail of what was being said in terms of this transformation, look at the, defensive players are excited to go at this offense because they're seeing that potential right now. I mean, again, I repeat, my friends, check your pulse. Like, seriously, check your pulse, man. I'm absolutely, oh, man, can't get here fast enough. It really just can't get here fast enough. Dolphins receiver, and I want to talk about this. Dolphins receiver River Craycraft, who played with Pro Bowl receiver Deebo Samuel in San Francisco, said of Hill, Tyreek is no doubt the fastest dude I've ever seen play. I've been around some very elite players, and I pride myself on work ethic. To see someone who's on an elite level, who has the same work ethic as I can remember coming in as an undrafted guy, it shows a lot about who they are. That's what he brings to the table. Hard work and effort along with elite athleticism. You put the 2 together, and that's why he's had success. And Craycraft also, I don't know if you guys saw it, but he called Mike McDaniel a super genius today, which is kind of crazy, man. That was crazy when he called him a super genius. Beyond his speed, Tyreek Hill is bringing the winning culture, going hard every play, Baker said. Coach Mike McDaniel said he's fine with it if Hill and Waddle want to race each other, but won't ask them to do it. So we're going to get this, baby. This is going to go. I'm telling you right now, this is about to go down, ain't it? This is about to go down. Oh, man, I live for this. This is like, come on, baby. Give it to me. This is, I need it, man. I need it. Tagovailoa's arm seems stronger, and this is another report. This is now Barry Jackson confirming that. One pass in particular, a dart to Hill, went for a 50-yard touchdown in individual drills. Let's go. Why is no one talking about this? Why isn't this national media news? An underthrow is, but this isn't? Come on. The longest play of the day, an 80-yard reception by Preston Williams, came on a ball that had traveled about 35 air yards from Tagovailoa. See, you got 30 from Omar, 35 from Barry. The Dolphins were without top cornerbacks Xavier Howard and Byron Jones and defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah. McDaniel advised reporters before Tuesday's OTAs that some veterans would be rested some days because scientific analysis suggests that that's the right move preparing for the season. The Dolphins gave a lot of defensive work to back up defensive backs, including safety Keon Crossan, a special teams ace who played just 2% of the Giants' defensive snaps last season. Dolphins May June rules don't permit reporters to say who played with the first team and what players lined up at what positions, but nothing has changed from my reporting weeks ago and Matt Applebaum's comments on Friday. The Dolphins are trying to decide whether to play Connor Williams at left guard or center. If Williams plays center, that opens a potential opportunity for Liam Eichenberg at left guard. Eichenberg, who ended last season as a starting left tackle, said he's comfortable at guard and happy to play wherever he's asked. Eichenberg has been consulting 49ers tackle Mike McGlinchey, who also went to Notre Dame, who played under McDaniel in San Francisco. Now, I heard Connor Williams was playing a lot of center today. That's what I was told. That a lot of it was that's what I was told, was that Connor Williams is actually playing a lot of center today, getting a lot of reps, a long look. This offense does well for offensive linemen. Eichenberg said the scheme is different. We didn't do a lot of wide zone last year. It was mostly inside zone. My buddy in San Fran, McGlinchey, loves it. Just got to run off the ball. That's the biggest emphasis with offensive linemen in the system. It's not about guessing or hesitating. It's run off the ball. Just deal with the outcome. Eichenberg said McDaniel said he believes in us, and that's all I can ask for. He's a good dude and obviously believes in us. With left tackle Terron Armstead getting a rest day, it was good to see Larnell Coleman get some action after spending his rookie season on injured reserve. After practice, Terron Armstead assisted young offensive linemen, including Robert Jones. So I didn't hear that Austin Jackson was part of that, but I heard Larnell Coleman and Robert Jones were two of the guys. Myles Gaskin had a couple nice run-ups the middle for substantial gains. With Edmonds and Mozart sideline and Sonny Michel having just joined the team recently, Gaskin and Salvin Ahmed got a lot of work, along with Jared Dokes and South Carolina rookie Zacondre White, who had two good runs. Noah Igbinoghene had a nice breakup of a slightly high pass from Tagovailoa on a pass intended for Waddle. Igbinoghene appreciates being coached by former Dolphins Pro Bowl cornerbacks Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain. They played the position at a high level and great teachers as well, Igbinoghene said. I'm blessed to be able to learn from them. He said being able to go against Hill and Waddle is a blessing. Quick stuff. Speed is prioritized at every position, which I told him. Hell, our freaking left tackle can run a 4.7 40. Even offensive and defensive linemen ran sprints during practice. Tight end Mike Gesicki was involved as usual, catching multiple intermediate passes. I heard Mike Gesicki, I heard from multiple people today that Mike Gesicki was very impressive. Apparently, he looked real fast today on the field. I'm just telling you, Mike Gesicki apparently looked really explosive today at practice. The best practice performer of the previous day gets to pick the music played at practice the next day. So Jalen Phillips picked the music Tuesday, which included plenty of Kanye West. Zach Seiler and Christian Wilkins had would-be sacks. There was absolutely no tackling. Pass protection was shaky at times during 20 or so minutes of 11-11 work. Craig Kraft, who appeared in 6 games for the 49ers last season, said McDaniel is a super genius. He's smarter than everyone else. No offense to everybody out there. He's a player's coach. He acts like one of us in the sense that you can talk to him. He's never going to big time you. And I mean, I told y'all, one of the things that I loved about the Shanahan tree is they check their ego at the door, right? They humble themselves. So that's so encouraging to hear that, again, these guys, what's so amazing and mind-boggling to me is they call him like a genius or super genius in like passing, and we're all just supposed to be like, oh yeah, they're just whatever, because they're just so used to it. It's crazy. Observations from Baker. He said rookie linebacker Channing Tindall's speed is evident. He's got a lot of things to improve on, but he definitely has got some speed and explosiveness. He would definitely be a great player in this league. Baker said new edge rusher Melvin Ingram, who hasn't yet signed but intends to do so, is a playmaker, high motor. He's a veteran. We're all going to learn from him. Baker on the defense, mostly returning intact, including coordinator Josh Boyer and several key position coaches. I'm definitely happy. Me personally, always had different linebacker coaches and coordinators. It's a good thing. You know what to expect and the knowledge to build off of it. I know a topic today for a lot of people was Melvin Ingram. Guys, don't worry. It's done. They've agreed in principle. Melvin Ingram's, it's basically wrapped, man. They just say he just hasn't put pen to paper yet, but Melvin Ingram's locked in. Remember, Melvin Ingram wants to start by a certain time, right? Like he's not going to be coming to these OTAs and such like that. So that's why they put the UFA tender on him, because they knew he wanted to miss a certain amount of time, and he had till like July 22nd to sign it. Don't worry, Melvin Ingram's a Dolphin. It's a matter of he doesn't want to do these OTAs and such just because of where he's at in his career, body, all that jazz. So now switching over to the Sun Sentinel and their OTA observations. Man, I got that training camp vibe, baby. Mike McDaniel's coaching staff seem to be setting the tone for the type of team they want the Miami Dolphins to become during the team's first organized team activity session open to the media, which was far more physical than expected. Practice in pads and shorts usually doesn't feature physical runs during 11-11 sessions, but the first team period Tuesday featured plenty of run plays, and there were instances where offensive and defensive players were on the ground. Salvon Ahmed had a couple nice runs using speed to bounce to the outside. Austin Jackson did a fantastic job opening up a running lane on one of Ahmed's cutback runs, which went for 20 yards. With Chase Edmonds not in attendance and Raheem Mostert doing a rehab assignment for the knee injury he suffered in last year's opener, Ahmed is getting a chance to show the playmaking ability he showcased last training camp and during his rookie season. The most pleasant surprise on Tuesday was the fact the offensive line was creating running lanes. But the Dolphins' rules on reporting what happens during OTAs prevent the media from saying who's working here. But I can say Connor Williams, who worked on his snapping to this time, might not be a lock for the starting left guard spot. Again, I told y'all I confirmed he's played center today. I can also say that Liam Eichenberg looks like he's put on some strength to his frame because his shoulders are broader than they were during his season. That's great. As long as it improves his anchor, we're good. After practice, Terran Armstead spent 20 minutes working with Eichenberg and Robert Jones on their stances and movements. Other observations: Tua Tagovailoa's arm has made some noticeable improvement. It's not drastic, but it's noticeable, especially in passes over the middle. He rifled in 2 passes in the middle of the field during 7-on-7s, one to Gesicki and another to Jalen Waddle that got there with some zip. Love it. However, the biggest play of the day came on a pass where Tagovailoa threw 30 yards downfield with some arc to it. He dropped the ball right in the bucket for Preston Williams along the left sideline. When quarterback Nick Needham failed to deflect the pass and ended up on the ground, Williams ran it for a 75-yard touchdown during 11-11s. Williams, who was a standout during training camp practices the first 2 years of his career, seems to be showing the new coaching staff the talent that made him the undrafted rookie and immediate starter in 2019. Don't sleep on Williams sticking around because it's clear he's in the upper echelon when it comes to talent. The problem he's had throughout his career is mastering the playbook and staying healthy. New punter Thomas Morstead was booting punts on Tuesday. It was very noticeable that he's got a big leg because most of the returners had to back up an extra 10 yards to field the ball. Jalen Phillips was wearing the orange jersey during Monday's practice, which means he was the top performer from Monday, which is a new McDaniel philosophy. As a performer, Phillips got to pick the music. Heavy Kanye, Little Uzi, and Playboy Cardi. Phillips was very noticeable on the field, especially from a technique standpoint. With Emmanuel Ogbah sitting out the OTA session, Phillips got a chance to polish up his pass rushing technique and edge work. Guys, I've said it to him privately. I'll say it to y'all. In 2 years, this guy is going to be competing with Myles Garrett's and the Bosa's as long as he stays healthy. That's one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. You can't tell me different. Jalen Waddle got all the tools. I've told y'all. You go back to my prospect preview last year on him. When I went over his measurables and his college production, he was literally the third Bosa brother. He was a blend of Nick and Joey. Teddy Bridgewater was very impressive in the session open to reporters. The decisions were quick and the passes were on the money. He connected with Tyreek Hill twice downfield. Rookie tailback Sequandre White had a nice cutback run to the right side. Noah Benogany, who saw a lot of action because Xavier Howard and Byron Jones were not participants on Tuesday, had a nice breakup from Tagovailoa to Waddle. Waddle cut a nice pass against Brandon Jones during 7-on-7s. Defensive tackle Adam Butler was doing field sprints instead of practicing, but he did get involved for the individual position work. Man, I wish we were there, man. I wish we were all there. I'm going to show you guys now. We're going to wrap it up with some clips, and we're going to start with the throw from yesterday that no one went live about, but I'll go live about it. We're going to get some OTA clips again tomorrow night, guys. 524 of you in the room. At about 9:15 tomorrow night, me, EM Dolphin fan, Mr. Ball Game, the homie Martin's coming back, Dougley Durong and TD Finstock. We got some stuff we got to hash out over the last 2 weeks that's transpired in this community with Tua, et cetera, et cetera. So set your clock, set your timers for that show tomorrow night. It's going to be a good one. Let's get into the clips for y'all. I'll full screen it for you guys. So we're going to start off from the throw to yesterday that I don't know why no one wants to talk about it. That beautiful bomb to Jalen Waddle. I put together all the clips from today plus the one yesterday. So let's see this. Let's see this. Let's go, baby. All right. To a back. Look at that. Look at that. Dime. Dime to 4-2. Dance, baby. Dance, baby. Let's go. Oh, why is no one talking about it, guys? Look at it. Getting started today. This is from today. Doing some cone drills. Getting that work in, man. Some Tuesday work. Some day 2 work. The receiver group. And here is Tanner Connor. Getting in that cone work as well. And now we got our linebackers going through some sled drills. Let's go. Look at the back pedal and then, woo, the tracking. I love it, man. Let's go. Look at Morstead. Bomb and punts today. Nice punt by Morstead. Hopefully he improves his hang time from last year. You got Ethan Carter making an appearance today. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. What I was talking about earlier. I'm going to pause it here. Okay, so on the right side, why is no one talking about this, guys? On the right side, we're going to have Hill run an outbreaking route. And on the left side, we're going to have Waddle do the same. Bridgewater is throwing to Tyreek on the right. Tua is throwing to Hill to Waddle on the left. Buddy, Waddle gets hit right in stride by Tua. Tyreek Hill has to turn his body around and adjust to Bridgewater's throw. Here we go. And I will say, I want to pause that for a sec. Let's pause that before the throw. One key thing I wanted to point out to you guys. Watch the dropbacks. Look at how deep Tua's dropback is. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, look at how much quicker. I pause it right now. Tua's already out of his already dropping back. Look at how much quicker Tua's out with the footwork. That tells you Tua's footwork is better right now than Teddy's. But look at this right now. Watch how deep Tua's going to drop back. And you know what that is? That's a habit of bad protection, having to continuously drop back due to bad protection. He has a way deeper drop back than Teddy on this. It's kind of interesting. Details, right? Look how quick he's out and how fast he's deeper. Look at that. Did you see? Tyreek had to turn around. One more time. Tyreek has to turn around. I thought they were outbreaking routes. I guess I didn't remember that correctly. They aren't outbreaking routes. Look at that. Tyreek fully turned around for that football. Why is no one talking about it, man? Come on, where are all the people that said Teddy's going to be the starter and stuff? Why is Waddle getting hit in stride and Tyreek's out here turning around for footballs? I'm just saying. Explain that one to me, people. Continuing on. Look at this. Bomb. There's your 35-yard throw. That was the throw to Preston. They didn't show the rest of it, but that was your Preston throw. I'll show it to you guys one more time. That was your Preston throw. Boom. Money. Money. Let's go. Now Gesicki in stride. Ooh, let's go. I can feel it, baby. So, yeah, those were the I got to show that highlight from yesterday again. Waddle in stride to the end zone. Oh, do your dance, Jalen. Let them know. Let them know. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Let's go ahead. Another thing I wanted to show you guys today too was I know a lot of people took issue with the fact that Sony Michel is rocking Ricky's number. This is what Sony actually had to say on rocking Ricky's number, and then we'll get into Mike McDaniel.
Number 34, playing for the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, 34. Everybody know, man. This is a great number. You know, Ricky Williams, ran the ball hard here. I'm sure did a lot of numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I can't just be rocking it just to rock it. I gotta come out here and put in some work.
Is there ever anything to you?
So there you go. You got Sony Michel recognizing what comes with that number, that he's got to go ahead and he's got to put in the work. Love to see it, man. Love to see it, man. I like our committee. If everyone stays healthy, I think our committee is deadly. I think our running game is going to be ridiculous this year if they stay healthy. All right, here's Mike McDaniel in his presser today.
Yeah. Sure.
Get into this here. Hold on.
Yeah. No, the Miami Dolphins truly appreciate you guys' support, but I'm going to have to call into question your priorities. We have 2 playoff games today. Okay, just making sure. I mean, OTAs are very important. I'm telling the players the same thing, but playoffs. Yeah. You guys got anything? We good?
Yeah, I guess we could ask you about the 2 recent additions since the draft. With Sony, Coach, was the thinking that just you can't have enough quality backs, obviously, with Jason, Raheem, and Miles, and Savon. And with Ingram, was there just a feel that another edge player could help for depth reasons?
Well, the latter of the 2, I have not seen pen to paper yet.
Okay.
So we'll talk about our Dolphins players, but hopefully we'll be able to talk about him soon. Sony, you have an opportunity in the offseason to add a player of his caliber, of his pedigree, just him as a human being, and a multiple Super Bowl winner. That we jumped at the opportunity, and his interests fit our interests, and competition for the Miami Dolphins is only a good thing. And I think one thing that's unique about that particular room is no one shies away from competition, and everybody in there is excited for the offense, for the opportunities, and wants the best man to win, and aren't backing away from that.
And with Mostert, are all indications of his recovery suggesting that he should be ready for the start of the season? Do you feel good about that?
I know his expectations are to play week 1, and
which I told y'all, that's what
we
forms told me.
Not going to rush it. He's come too far to have a setback, so he's just diligently working day in, day out. But when he's ready, he'll be on the field for sure.
What is something you want to instill or establish in your team at this early stage in OTAs?
I think we've begun that process. There's 3 phases in the NFL offseason. Phase 1 is meeting room exclusive, and guys, and we're currently in phase 3, where we're actually able to practice for the second time. And phase 2, you get to do some drill work and coach them on the field, not in team settings, but and all 3 phases are really cool to me for the specific reason that you get to coach and not prepare for an opponent. So he
just loves coaching.
We're learning a different language on one side of the ball, and we're refining a language on the other side of the ball. But realistically, you want guys committed to getting better, and you want to really establish how you're going to go about business. We had a bunch of time to prepare for. We had two voluntary mini camps, and now we're this afternoon. You guys will see our second OTA, and what was important to me is you don't skip steps in this business. So if we want if we want to make strides and progress as an organization, as a football team, we have to position ourselves so that when we come back for training camp, that we're able to practice and operate at a high caliber level that fits, our goals. And there's no easy way to do that. You just don't wish things to happen. You take matters into your hands in the game of football. And guys, I'm very proud of the way they've approached everything from that standpoint.
Oh, I love it.
Mike, we haven't asked you yet, I don't believe, about a player with sort of an interesting skill set. Your views on Lynn Bowden? And
we got to talk about this, guys.
Lynn he does have an interesting skill set. I've always been drawn to players that have multiple positions, specifically quarterback experience, because of the way they see the game. Lynn's been battling some hamstring stuff. He's been diligent.
So right there, Perform, who's been practicing a lot they've been working out a ton with Lynn Bowden. They actually had no idea about the hamstring stuff that Mike McDaniel is referring to. That's the biggest update I can give you on the hamstring stuff that Mike McDaniel has mentioned. From what I'm told, Perform and Nick Hicks, this is news to them. So read into that however you want.
In the meeting room, and I don't really get ahead of myself when I'm really looking at our team, and I don't think his teammates should either. We'll know if Lynn's ready to contribute to the team when he's on the field, and we're trying to get him there and he's making sure. I know he's making sure that he's prepared for his opportunity when he is healthy.
I want to ask you about the offense in terms of what unit or what group is it the most difficult to sort of implement this offense, teach them what you want to do fundamentally in the core scheme?
The most drastic disparity from whatever you'd call, quote, traditional. You enter in when you're coaching players. You're very aware of their past coaching. You make yourself aware of that so that you can best articulate, hey, this is like this or this is not like this.
I'm sure this is not like this when you talk
from
about
a traditional
the
standpoint is the offensive line, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Obvious. And it is a full-scale commitment to certain principles and ownership of fundamentals that we ask them to do and to major in. So as far as the off-season program is concerned, it's almost built for our offensive linemen in terms of how to approach things, because you need about 2 weeks of an hour and a half or hour and 45-minute meetings, which is what phase one allows you to digest. Hey, we're asking you to run off the ball. We're asking you to have these landmarks. We're asking you not to hesitate. And then phase two, you can kind of drill it. That, I think, in terms of, Johnny, don't know his name, coming on the team, and then all of a sudden being thrown into the mix, I think that it's the hardest position because we are so committed to our fundamentals and technique.
Thank God.
Thank offensive linemen are like officials, I would say, where like you're not talking about them, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And
they're doing their
they
job.
have scars from when they are talked about.
Yeah.
So to get them to just let go and let all that stuff, let the past be the past and move forward is the most deliberate and intentional thing that as a coaching staff we have to do. One of the reasons kind of shaped my whole vision for hiring a coaching staff. I wanted to make sure that the guys that were touching those players, we would be able to see the results of the scheme, and people really dive in and invest, understand where they're coming from, some of the stuff that they have in their past, and let that go and move forward. And I feel very, very comfortable and confident and happy with what started with Matt Applebaum, and Lem has been doing an outstanding job understanding everything that we're trying to do.
AKA, we had to teach Lemuel Jean-Pierre how to actually coach the offensive line because the last regime didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Mike Person, and then Frank Smith, obviously the offensive coordinator. So that position is probably, I'm not sure if do you have any interest in the offensive line position? Am I boring you? But that it's exciting too, because you get to see guys at that position. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of, it's liberating to a degree, because they're listen, the guys that if I were to tell you that on this team, and this is my 7th team, been in a lot of different places, but this is the as athletic and capable of any group that you might be like, huh? Are you crazy? But they really are.
Wow.
And they're hungry and committed, and it's been really.
This man just said this offensive line group is as athletic and as capable of any group he's been around. Again, further indictment on the past coaching. That's literally a further indictment on the past coaching. That's saying, oh, the talent's there, the athleticism there, all the tools are there. The people that were here before just didn't know how to put it together.
Really rewarding to watch them work, see the benefits, and then more than that, what's going to happen with your first adversity? Because this just in, offensive linemen have adversity. They live in adversity. And they, how are they going to respond to a run play where they're short on their aiming point, and Christian makes you pay in the backfield, or Sealer or whoever, and that's the fun part of
iron sharpens iron.
Part of the year is you get to focus on them and not an opponent.
Can you talk a little bit about what you see maybe from the rookies or the undrafted free agents so far, besides just their physical strength and what they can do on the field, but maybe the character and how they fit within the team?
Overall, as a group, I feel that all the parties involved in acquiring them, I hold undrafted free agents with high esteem. Like, they aren't just like throw-ins. They're important to me. We've had a multitude of success over the years having undrafted free agents really impact your team.
Programming note, my prospect preview this week is going to be on Verone McKinley, the safety, him and Kellen Deesh and Zakondre White, who I think can make it. But we're going to start off with Verone McKinley this week.
And what I will say is, as a group, it's a testament to the organization, the scouting department, Chris Greer, and the collection of people, because we have the right types of people.
Yep.
This is overwhelming. You have to understand that rookies, people don't really view it this way, but I was just talking to the guys yesterday, is they are coming in trying to make a living at something amongst people that have been doing it professionally for years.
Yep.
So, and then you're doing that in a language that you're like, what? You just got introduced to stuff, so you're triple behind the 8 ball. You get to find out fast if guys are tough-minded enough. And I will say they are made of the right stuff so far, having one weekend with them, and then this being the second OTA.
Recently, you have joint practices with the Buccaneers this preseason. What you can get out of that? And are there any other joint practices this team will have?
Crafty. Yeah, no, the joint practice are outstanding for everyone involved, because you have there's only so far you can go when going against each other before things start to hurt more than they help. So that having different schemes, coverages, incredibly impactful. Having different offenses for run fits, and I mean all of that stuff is super impactful. We're going to start out. We're practicing 2 days against Tampa, and can't wait to see you guys type really fast. But we're going to have joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Both scenarios. See, I told you. Both scenarios were feel very fortunate that things worked out with Coach Bowles and Coach Sirianni, but we're excited about that, and I think our players will be too.
Let's go.
When you first arrived here, you talked a little bit about this being your dream job. You've worked for 20 years towards it. I was just curious, over the course of getting here, teaching, coaching, getting on the grass, how has your experience lived up to the expectation of your dream job?
Surpassed it. No, it's.
I love it. Let's go. This guy wakes up and checks his
really
balls.
Fun to express a lot of the things that you didn't know if you ever had the opportunity to do.
This man's like an artist.
And I feel.
Just let him go.
And I'm surrounded with so many people that are supporting and help driving the force that it truly feels like a team that we're working together for a common goal, which that is what football is all about.
You have probably three guys on this team who are not only fast but eager to show they are the fastest on this team. Are you going to let them race? And most importantly, are we going to see it?
Well, I mean, with a persuasive argument, maybe you could convince. I'm not going to tell them not to race. I love competitors. I'm also not going to force them to race. So you really see. If I were you guys, and they would do so at one of the, I think, what is it, 5 practices that you guys are at, and you guys were able maybe to persuade them to do it at one. The guy pushing for the race the hardest, I would put my wagers on amongst your betting selves. I would not bet because there are some very, very fast guys on the team, but I enjoy the fact that they're competitive about that.
He just told y'all to bet for
I would
Tyreek
never
Hill.
keep them from doing so, but I'm more trying to get them to figure out how to run a route, defend a go ball, or run the ball. Did I cover all my bases? I did. Then to have them compete in a race. We do track miles per hour on every practice, so they don't necessarily need to race side by side for me to put that in front of them as a motivating factor, if you will.
If you're, I'm just going to ask you. Go ahead, Daniel. I have one more, if you could.
No, go ahead.
Okay, and then you. If it's going to two, is that allowed? Okay.
So Daniel and Barry, and then he's gonna be least track.
Okay.
I was just saying, you gotta tell us who's the fastest now if you know you're tracking it.
I mean, I don't have to. No, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be fair yet because not all players have been, not all players are able to take part in the race yet. But yeah, there's been a good amount of 22 and dare I say 21 and 22 miles per hour runners out there, and I'm not going to be mad if there's more additionally in the future.
Mike, if you're willing to share this in May, anyone beyond Mostert and Bowden, if we don't see out there today going full or going out there at all, that are out for health reasons, injury reasons, that you're able to share, so we're not guessing when we're out there watching?
I mean, you don't technically have to guess. You can just holler at me and I could answer your question. As far as that test question, I don't really know off the top of my head. I know Ann's probably sitting there like, yes, you do. And I'm like, no, I don't. We're the veterans that have earned the right over their career, and the science backs up that right now it's not best served for them to be out there. We're not gonna put them out there. There's from any given day that can vary, but we try to be very intentional and deliberate in everything we do. So there's no absolute with anything. The best thing for the Dolphins is each and every player is ready for week one, and however we get there is the way we'll handle those things.
Yes.
Man, I love our coach. He always gives you like little nuggets, like he always gives you a little bit of insight of how they do things, and I love that, and I appreciate that so much more than a guy like Flores who is so closed off. And I don't know, man. I really, and you listen to him and talk, and you can just tell like the genius persona just oozes out of him. Like you can just tell, no one's blowing smoke up our yoo-hoos telling us this guy's a genius. You just listen to him talk and you're like, yeah, he's a genius. And like it just seems like he's an artist with like a blank canvas and a palette full of nothing but colors. I just cannot see what he ends up putting together with our defense. With our offense. I'm so impressed, man. I just so impressed. And also, speaking of camp, before we get into one little thing here I wanted to discuss. Before we get into what I want to discuss, a little note from camp. Interesting thing too. The homie, a guy we all like, Brian Baldinger, was at camp today, and he made sure to catch up with Hollywood Javon Holland, baby. So shout out to Brian Baldinger, who does fantastic film breakdowns, has broke down to a very objectively, and he comes out and he needed to meet Javon Holland. That's big. And then finally, guys, there's something that was brought up on Fin Too Deep by Neil, and I believe he brought it up here too. He told me, he's like, yeah, I put a couple hundred down on Tua as an MVP candidate, and he compared it to Jackson and how Jackson came out of nowhere when everyone thought he needed all this work and won the MVP. And then funny enough, I even repeated that in a space today, and then funny enough, this article dropped, and 2022 NFL MVP dark horses, Derek Carr, Justin Jefferson, Tua Tagovailoa, among other sleeper candidates. So we go here to Tua. So this is what it says about Tua. His MVP odds right now are 75-1. My guy Tua is primed for a breakout year in year three. Tyreek Hill is the most explosive wide receiver in the game. Putting him in the same receiving corps as Jalen Waddle is borderline illegal. And I love the other moves Miami made to prop up the young QB, adding left tackle Taron Armstead, wide receiver Cedric Wilson, and running backs Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, and Sonny Michel. With a run game wizard like Mike McDaniel calling plays with the Dolphins new head coach, perfection. Also, I really like Tua as a player. I'm on board. He was great in college, and he's been better than most people will lead you to believe in the NFL, as evidenced by his 13-8 record as a starter. It's about availability, not ability. If Tua stays healthy, I could see him leading the Dolphins to an 11-6 playoff season. And here's the key. I don't think he will be a hood ornament on the ride to the postseason. Tua is going to be the engine for Miami's success. Wow. This man just said he's going to be the engine for Miami's success. I know I know a couple of y'all are all worked up in your feelings hearing that. Man, Personally, MVP dark horse. I mean, I get the I'm gonna put some money down on those odds, and I get the frame of mind and I get the thinking, but man, just give me top 12 play. Just give me elite efficiency. Just give me what I need to win. I don't need 40 touchdowns. Not yet, at least. So, but the fact that even NFL.com is putting on this article recognizing that he is, in fact, a big-time sleeper candidate, Dolphin fans, when was the last time we had a quarterback that anyone put out any article, especially NFL.com, saying this guy is a potential sleeper candidate for MVP? They didn't do it for Tannehill. They didn't do it for anyone else. So, man, check your pulse, baby. Check your pulse. Whew. I'm telling y'all, man, it's a beautiful thing the way this team is starting to line up, the way this team is starting to work out. If you ain't excited, I don't know if you're human. I don't even know if you have a pulse if you're not excited. I really don't, man. I can't wait for September 11th, man. I'm going to be trying to get out there for that home opener too. Looks like me and Neil Driscoll are going to try and get down there for that home opener. I'm going to try and get out to a couple games this year. Also, guys, remember, tomorrow night, there's 564 of you in the room. Please smash that like button. Help me out with my friend Al. Al who? Algorithm. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. You can obviously donate through the PayPal. Links down below. You can become a Patreon. Insider info. Had some yesterday for y'all. But tomorrow night, guys, me, EM Dolphin fan, Dougley Durong, TD Fins Talk, Mr. Ballgame, and the homie Martin, we're going to be doing a roundtable, basically discussing a lot of topics that I think need to be discussed between all of us. So you're not going to want to miss that episode tomorrow, guys. It's going to be fire. It's going to be absolute fire. Keeping it nice, small, and simple in terms of the panel, not bringing up a whole bunch of people. Just the usual suspects too, man. So, guys, you're going to make sure you're going to want to tune in. You're not going to want to miss that by any stretch of the imagination. And it's also going to be, man, I sit back and I look at how OTAs are going. I'm not putting stock in anything. I'm taking notice. I'm taking notice. And I got a feeling we're going to be taking notice on a lot of things offensively heading through training camp positively, in a positive manner as well. Right? I just see a lot of potential in this offense. And I see this offense, man, if we're scoring 28, 29 points on average a game by the end of the season, I just wouldn't be shocked, man. I'm so pumped to see this all come together. It's like this has just been an A+ offseason. I mean, if we can add the center or the right tackle, that'll make it just an A++ off the charts offseason. But I think, at this point, we're getting greedy. Now, do we all want it? Do we identify the need? Do we need it? Sure. But they've done a lot. They've filled a lot of holes. The glaring issues have been narrowed down with this roster. So, man, I'm super hyped. I'm super hyped for this, guys. I just can't wait. But like I said, I'm going to be back tomorrow night. We'll be back around 9:15. We're going to do this roundtable. I hope all y'all tune in. I can tell y'all, every time we do this stuff, it's a good one. I can only guarantee you we're probably going to have another good one under our belt. But until then, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's Fins Up all day, every day. I hope all of y'all stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. Enjoy your night of Panthers hockey and Heat basketball. Let's get it, baby. Fins Up. Fins are up next, all right? Fins are up next.